Hey everybody, welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with my Friday show, The Outlook on the Emotional Exchanges. And it's my weekly kind of romance or relationship indicated reading for the week. I throw some cards for the elemental associations, the air, fire, water, earth signs, and then I throw one card each for the zodiac signs, a key word for the week. But this week I'd like to also start off with a special collective reading, and I'm going to use my Isis Tarot. I have not used this in some time here on the show, and the Isis Tarot is not really a tarot. It's more like your other kinds of cartomancy, like maybe what's known as gypsy fortune telling cards, or similarities maybe to Lenormand, but it does have some Egyptian themology, and Egyptian is the theme for the show today because I'm going to be using all Egyptian theme cards. So let's get on with the collective reading from the Isis Tarot, and I hope it's a good one. It says Fortune. Fortune is number 19. Fortune, a clear judgment and clear powers of distinction, literary and artistic talent, a pacifying personality, intelligent and loving, loves creativity and harmony in the powers of leadership, abstract thinking. Well, that seems like a wonderful, overall card for us here. Just not getting the look, the glare off that I want. There it is, Fortune. So I think it just basically means that this is a great week for us. So don't knock it. It just seems like love or thoughts of love are going to inspire almost everything. Certainly some good things. So I might have to work on my lighting issues a little bit, but I want to try to get started with the reading. So as I mentioned, I'm going to throw cards for the elemental signs. I'm going to use my Nefertari Tarot, the golden sparkly one, so this ought to present even more problems. Thank goodness it's only a few cards. Okay, so this will be for the air signs, the general outlook for the week. It's the reversed King of Wands. For the air signs, the reversed King of Wands seems to indicate that we're not feeling particularly charismatic or particularly thrilled about moving towards goals that may encompass trying to be more charismatic or magnetizing, creating new bonds, new enterprises. We're just not feeling it, air signs, this week. It could be for other external reasons, in the stars, the retrograde, things like that. But we're not really feeling our sense of being in control of how we want to appear, mostly in terms of romantic or relationship prospects. We're just not feeling like we can network well, or that we're just, people friendly this week. Okay, so then for the fire signs, well, they're not doing so great either, maybe. It's strength reversed. And the fire signs, I think, with strength reversed is saying that they feel pressured maybe to be more physically assertive or assertive in general, mentally, verbally, emotionally, either in relationships or situations that maybe involve relationships. And it could be that they're just really, whacked by Mercury retrograde thinking, or that they have some issues perhaps, and that they feel that they need to be more in charge of them. And the best way to do that is with assertive behavior. But I'm just going to say that I have a feeling that for the fire signs, this is not always a trick that works. It may work sometimes, but I think the situations you may be trying to do this are really things that should be handled more gently, a gentler approach. So then we move to the water signs. And the water signs are on the parade to get reversed cards as well, important ones even. It's the reversed Temperance. And reverse Temperance for the water signs means truly there are some out of moderation issues going on here. Water signs maybe are overreacting to various emotional stimuli, feeling loss more acutely and maybe more unrealistically, or feeling, maybe delusional about who we think really likes them, and that maybe we're being fooled by con artists or sham people instead. So water signs need to try to focus on grounding their temperament mostly, but along with that will come a sense of judgment, because of course I think that's sort of indicated in the picture there. And then finally, to the earth signs, you get a upright card, and it's a darn good one because it's the World. The World upright. For the earth signs, earth, world, I get that. I hope you do too. So I think that earth signs really feel like maybe in terms of relationships, they've kind of completed a cycle. This cycle may have involved cementing, the idea of what a relationship was about. So in other words, maybe planning to get married or planning to share their lives. Or it could have been also too about, the planning ahead for other aspects of relationships, the foundational work for a family, or situations where maybe you as a person are caretaker for others in other generations. Maybe you have a parent living with you as well as children. This could be saying that this cycle of what you've had to do to kind of create foundation, that time may be past, and so it may be moving into more freer emotional range of time where you're going to feel more carefree and more moving on to other goals, basically, especially emotionally. I want to mention that. Okay, so now I'm going to throw a card for each sign of the zodiac. And so for that, I'm going to use the Egipicios Kier Tarot, which is also Egyptian themed. And this provides a word of the week. This is a word that maybe will be resonant or will give you a guide, or as a key word, or somehow just sort of indicates where you're at, or where you may be at, or your feelings are, or maybe something you should be noticing. So I'm going to go around the zodiac in order by their signs. So we start with Aries, and of course Aries is one of those fire signs. And you have preeminence for Aries. And I think preeminence means that Aries, in terms of how you feel about the emotional relationships in your life, you feel that you are really the one in charge of them. You sort of feel you set the tone, you set the goals, the patterns. Maybe you are the bigger decision maker in your relationship, Aries, or maybe you are the person who basically has to master the household or the foundation of the family, whatever that might be. All right, then we move to Taurus, the earth sign Taurus. And you have purification. And Taurus for purification, and I see the little Piscean symbol there. So I do realize that this is about your emotional life. Taurus, as you may be feeling like you have to do certain things to maybe make yourself better for living an emotional life. So it's not like a purging so much, but it could be seen as you really spending time in contemplation about maybe previous relationships. What were the strengths? What were the weaknesses? What did you enjoy the most or the least? This kind of thing. You may be really just trying to mentally, emotionally review and prepare yourself for a new relationship that maybe is on the horizon for you. And then we move to the air sign Gemini, and Gemini has expressiveness. And Gemini, I think you're going to feel like, you know, more talkative than usual, maybe slightly glibby, maybe slightly flirty, but I think Gemini, for this next week or so, you're feeling you need to express yourself about how you feel about somebody you care about, how you feel about yourself as an emotional-based person. Maybe this is the time for you to reveal things about yourself that you haven't always felt you should talk about, but now you want to talk about them. Yes, this could be, you know, anything along the emotional, gender, sexual pipeline. You know, you are a Gemini, so you may always feel like you have more than one way of looking at all these things, but it is about your sense of human expression and how you wish to impart that for this week. And then we're moving to Cancer, and Cancer gets the Navigator. And the Navigator indicates maybe that you have decided exactly how, why, where, all of that stuff, you can move towards the emotional happiness, including relationships or just other situations that are emotionally pleasing. You can move towards them. You can plot that course. You can steer the ship towards that. You sort of feel like you really have a sense of how to do this better maybe than you have for some time. And so now it is the time for you to do that. And then from Cancer, we move to the earth sign Virgo. I'm sorry, the fire sign Leo. Get my astrology screwed up there. Leo. And Leo has versatility, which is, of course, usually what they are about. But I think this is saying that there's an extra burst of you looking at what you can do to go out of your way, perhaps, to appreciate someone emotionally or to set the tone for that kind of spontaneity in your relationships. Maybe it's even just relationships with children. You're picking up your nephew or your grandchild, take them to the park or to the movie if that's warranted. Things like that. Versatility, other ways of showing how much you care for a person or the situation. And then from Leo, we move to Virgo. And Virgo, as an earth sign, you're also getting those earth sign vibes here in this card. I see the those cards, Geb and Moot, or some sort of sense of them. There's also Scorpio there too. And the card says the unforeseen. So Virgo, this could just be saying too that Virgos like to have things really planned and really defined and like to exactly be in charge of how things portray. But this may be a week, especially in terms of emotions, that something unforeseen is not able to be planned for. And it could be the way others are reacting or interacting with you emotionally. Maybe you thought something was really sewn up in terms of your interactions emotionally with somebody. Maybe it's somebody you wanted to date, or maybe it's somebody you are in some sort of relationship with already, but maybe something happens, something that could be scorpionic, but is definitely something you didn't really realize was going to happen. So try to be prepared and be able to roll with that. Okay, Virgo, we're going to Libra now. And Libra gets the major arcana 1 the Magician. And I think that means in the ways of love and emotions, you have the plan, you have the power, you have the plan, you have the vision, you have the belief in yourself as an emotional person. There's probably somebody for you that you've been really thinking about, and I think it's going to be the time for you to maybe move in that direction. All right, Libra, good for you. And then Scorpio. Oh, poor Scorpio. You have delusion. Scorpio, this could very well be, delusion that is given to you, as well as the idea that maybe there is just something in the emotional realms that you have serious, I'll say delusions, or serious contrary views to what you believe. It could very well be that maybe this indicates somebody is trying to pull your leg emotionally. Maybe somebody is fooling you about what their intentions are in some emotional manner. But it is more likely that maybe you're fooling yourself, that maybe, Scorpio, you have fallen for a person who you should not have, that maybe it's somebody you think was responding to you, Scorpio, but maybe they haven't. Or maybe you have delusion, Scorpio, about what is going on already in a relationship, and that maybe this is the time to consider that you were wrong about something you feel in your relationship. On to the fire sign Sagittarius. Sagittarius has examination. Examination, it's number 54 arcana. I have no idea what suit that might be. But examination, and we see Thoth, we see Bastet or Sekhmet below, and we see those scales, and then of course we see Amnut, the devil kind of figure in Egyptology. And I think this is saying that emotionally, Sagittarians, there's something you really need to take a look at and understand if it balances correctly with either other aspects of your emotional life or just with your life in general. There seems to be a particular warning that maybe something is not exactly understood or seen well. Maybe it's a carryover from what Scorpio's feeling about delusion, but I think this is just sort of saying it's something you can change, you can look into. You need to examine something going on emotionally. So Sagittarians, moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn, maybe you're hitting the jackpot here. You have passion. You have the sign of passion. And I think Capricorn, this could be saying really, as an earth sign, there's something you're feeling strongly about, and it's probably a mixed bag. It has a lot of high love potential, but maybe there's something that is really driving it in terms of, the sexual dimension too. So I have a feeling, Capricorn, that emotionally this is going to be a really interesting week for you, that maybe you're going to be drawn to some things you either have not experienced in a while, or have been waiting for a while, or maybe never even realized you're being drawn to this. And even if you are already in a relationship, you're going to feel something strongly pulling you to whatever this is. It could be something within your own relationship, but don't be surprised if it's something without. Okay, Capricorn moves to Aquarius. And Aquarius has meditation. Aquarius needs to consider a number of things, but maybe something in particular, using this time this week to really try to feel what's going on emotionally with other people. Aquarians, you may have people in your life who are having situations that they hope you can help them understand, but that they also hope you will understand. And to do that, you may have to really seriously contemplate what those situations are. From an emotional point of view, this may be really important that you understand exactly what is going on there, rather than try to overlook it or trivialize it in any way. And then our last card, our last sign of the zodiac, is the water sign Pisces. And Pisces has patrimony, one of those antiquated, oldie-timey words that I love or hate so well. But patrimony for Pisces may be saying that really Pisces, sort of at the end of your rope, at the end of the day, at the end of almost not caring anymore, and you know how hard that could be for a Pisces, it really is time to be a bigger person, but also the bigger person who really is the one in charge. It's time not to let others try to say, you can't be in charge, you're too emotional, you're too wishy-washy, you're too this, whatever it is that they may throw at the Pisces. It's really time to say, no, I know what has to be done, and I'm going to do that. All right, that's our reading for the week, and I hope you did enjoy that. Please share, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget to come back tomorrow for the happy hour. It's the very, very happy time with our tarot tribe. We give a one-card reading for everybody, and it's a positive, uplifting message from spirit, from the divine, however you want to look at that. On Sunday will be Banshee's Material Matters, which is her financial advice, her advice for success in all the fields. And that's on at 10 a.m. Sunday mornings. And then, of course, we will have our regular live stream Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. So I hope you'll join us for all of these. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for enjoying. And thank you for watching. So we'll see you next time.